Hey guys, welcome back to another live stream. So with me, where let me push this back a little bit, where I'm still working on these pants. So yesterday I faced some challenges. I'm going to be very honest about that. When I was pinning the pattern pieces onto the denim that I cut, I definitely did not have enough denim. Pretty much like the legs of these pants are just smaller than the panel pieces the panel pieces that I designed. So what I'm going to do to overcome this is I have one last pair of pants because we also have pattern pieces that we did not cut out at all yet. I have right here, I believe I have 2 pattern pieces left, unless one is like lost somewhere. I'm pretty sure I just have 2 left. These are not cut out at all yet. And it's actually 4 pieces because each of these I need 2 of. And I looked through all of the scraps that I had left over from cutting out the panel pieces that I already cut out, and I just didn't have enough fabric at all. So I have one more pair of denim here that I am going to cut up. The sad thing is these are the same exact pants as the ones I cut yesterday. So actually these are the same pants as all the black. So I'm using, am I really? Yeah, this is the 3rd pair of these black pants I'm using for this one pair of denim pants. So I used, is this correct? Yeah, I'm going to use 3 pairs of these black Sarah jeans and 1 pair of, I believe, blue PacSun jeans to make 1 pair of pants. But these are super skinny jeans. They are ankle length. I'm doing a longer length. I'm doing a wider leg. So it's somewhat understandable. Also kind of like, how is that possible? Also, they're super high-waisted. Hey, welcome. And so anyways, that's how I'm gonna solve the problem is I'm gonna use 1 more pair of pants. And I think even though this is a front piece, this is the center front piece. And I already cut out so the front has 3 panels on each side. Hey, welcome. So the front has 3 panels on each side. So the 2 side parts of the front panels currently have pockets added to, like, already there from when I cut it out. So I think in order to use more fabric, because this piece is a bit wider, and this is the one that we didn't have enough room for last time we cut it out. Yeah. So this much was getting cut off when we cut it out last time. So instead of adding like an additional piece of fabric right here, I'm going to try to cut it one more time out of the back part of these. And if I use the back part of these, then there won't be any pocket, which is good because then the pocket will just come on the 2 side panels and the middle panel won't have a pocket, and that will be just more attractive, less bulky, especially because there's going to be a zipper going down the front. I'm like, what? Okay, that message is not for me, obviously. Okay, so I'm just going to keep cutting these out. So the only negative about choosing to use the back of these jeans is that once again, I have to remove the pockets, which feels like the most tedious, time-consuming part of this process, but that's okay. We will go ahead and do it one more time. And I am sorry again for if you were on the stream yesterday. I did get my stream taken down after I went and grabbed coffee. I played a song on my stream, and even though the person whose song it was in the stream, they still took it down for copyright infringement. Hopefully I can appeal it, and then the video will be back on my channel. But again, I am sorry I didn't come back on after that happened because I don't know, I was just over it. But I am also thinking that I'm going to start streaming once a day on Twitch as well as YouTube. So you can definitely follow me on Twitch under the same name, Trace Anula, and you can set up the notification so that you're notified when I go on Twitch as well as YouTube. Said I got to see him, so I shouldn't need to see you. Well, that makes sense, obviously. Same person. So I am trying to, I think I'm going to flip these inside out. I am doing this slightly differently than I've done all my other ones so far because I have not cut the panels completely apart yet. I'm just going right to removing the pockets. I think it's just because the pockets always take me so long to remove. So I'm figuring just do that first so that it's one less thing to worry about. But yeah, I think on this stream, I know it's so annoying. I just keep doing the same thing on every stream, but I am working through these pans slowly but surely. I think I'm probably just going to get all of the pieces absolutely perfect as far as the pattern is concerned. And maybe we'll start like sewing the very first couple pieces, but I'm probably just going to stream for about 45 minutes today. So my goal is to just get all the pattern pieces completely ready to go. The reason, like sometimes when you're taking out seams, you can just like go ahead and pull and like the whole thing falls out. But pockets are like have two seams generally and thicker thread, so you can't just rip out the seams, sadly. Shirts and dresses on woven fabric tend to be really easy to upcycle because the seams just kind of fly out. Okay, this one's coming out pretty quickly. I'm almost done with this pocket. Of course, the corners are always the hardest part, but we're almost there, so this is great. I do have a few updates since my last stream. Well, my last stream, I feel like I didn't really talk very much at all before I got kicked off, which is quite ironic. But before that, I had said a bunch of things I had recommended, and I had talked about some things that were happening in my life. And update on my toilet situation is still not working. We still keep buying the wrong flapper. That is the thing that we need to fix it. And the hose still keeps flinging up in my face every single time I have to go and try to flush the toilet. So that's great. And as far as I had recommended the Monica and Jeff's Love Boys, what is it called, like mini podcast on the Armchair Expert. And I had said that I had listened to the finale episode and it was great, and I recommended it was like 8 parts. Well, I just started listening to today. They had like a recap episode. So it was like the finale, like there was a send off and everything, but now they're doing a recap. So if you haven't listened to the series yet, I highly recommend it. Even the recap was great. It's a really honest little mini series about dating, and it's very interesting if you're interested in that topic at all, because all the experts seem to have a different opinion on what they should do, but everyone seems to agree on like what their problems are, yet they want to solve them in very different ways. All right, let's see. I hate this part so much. I'm always afraid I'm going to stab myself. Because I generally do usually stab myself. It's not a irrational fear at all. Okay. I could just cut cut a hole, but it's so much nicer when there's not a hole. Like, it gives me so much more freedom, so I'm trying to do it correctly. Usually if you go from behind, it's a little bit easier, but honestly, it seems impossible from behind. I don't even know what I'm looking at. There's so much fabric sticking out back here. Maybe I should trim it off and see if that helps. Ready. For how like intensely this is sewn on, it's shocking that the corner pockets ever rip on jeans, because this is crazy. Impossible to get this off. Okay. Okay, did I actually do it without creating a hole? I may have. Awesome. Okay, on to the next corner. Okay. Okay, so again, there's like so much thread sticking out on the inside on this side. So I'm thinking if I trim that off, it may make it a lot easier to disconnect the corner. Imagine I just get it off in like 1 second and the whole other 10 minutes I was focused on the other side was pointless. All right, let's see. I do think that helped loosen it a lot. Yeah, it looks like I only have a little bit left. Again, we really don't want to leave holes in it. That's why I'm taking so much time, because the whole reason I am using one more pair of denim is because we're running out of space when cutting out our pattern pieces. And so we want to have a really perfect canvas to work with when cutting out this last pattern piece. All right. Okay. Why did that take like 10 times less time than the first time? And it literally ripped nothing. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Okay. I still am going to try to avoid it though, because like it's kind of worn out. Okay, cool. So now we have more pockets, as if we need any more pockets. I really thought that I had both pockets cut off. I was so happy. That was one pocket. Why was that so much work? Okay. Pocket number 2. All right, now let's try doing that trick again, where we start by cutting the extra off in the back and cutting a few seams. There's like a little tuft of fabric on the back that we're trying to remove as much as possible and see if it loosens up the seam. If it doesn't just come out, then I'll just move on for now and start taking off the rest of the pocket. But hopefully it just pops off and then we will be ahead of the game. All right, let's go down a little bit further and start taking the seam out. It's a lot easier to take the seam out from the other side because the inside is really faded, so the black stitch stands out a lot clearer. So it just seems it's more visible. We can get right underneath all the stitches. It's easy to take out. Okay, now flip it over. Let's see if we pull it, if it's starting to come out at all. Okay, this one's almost off. It took a lot less time than the other one. That is awesome. We just have the corners left again. And so I know I said I'm gonna recut one of the pattern pieces, just this pattern piece. Out of all the pattern pieces I cut, this is the only one that I need to recut. But I'm not gonna waste, so this is the original 2 pieces that I cut out from that pattern, from the other pair of pants for this pattern piece. That's fine. I'm not gonna waste this at all. This is going to be used to cut out these smaller pieces. So we're still going to use this. And then also I still have like the extra little bits on the top of the patterns. I'm still going to have to get these parts cut. So again, we're going to use this piece to cut out all that stuff. So I definitely need to make sure I save as much room as possible when I'm cutting out these pieces so that we have enough fabric to cut out all those little pieces as well. There's no way I'm cutting up another pair of jeans for these. And again, like I'm using 3 pairs of black Zara skinnies, mid-rise. I think they're called high-rise, but honestly, they fit me like a mid-rise. And 1 pair of low-rise PacSun jeans. And I've used all of it. The only extra pieces I have is I will have like all the waistbands left except for one, because I'm going to use 1 waistband, and I'm going to have 3 jeans worth of pockets left because I'm just going to use 1 pair of pockets. So those are like, and you know, like, so just the extra, like, whatever it's called, like the access to the jeans is what's going to be left. But like all the jean material is pretty much going to be used, which is crazy. So again, I'm just trying to get these corners off, and I'm trying to do it as nicely as possible because we already did a really good job on the first one. I'm again cutting away the inside little tuft and then breaking up the stitch. And hopefully it will start to pull off. Yay, got 1 more. Okay, cool. And we're gonna flip it over, we're gonna trim it again. It's like as you cut it more away, like more of it is available to trim off on the bottom. The more you trim off, the better it's gonna be when you flip it over and try to pull it off. All right. Okay, here we go. It's coming up. This is the most exciting part of my whole straightening, being able to get the pocket off. All right, let's see. Is it gonna come? All right. Maybe not, maybe never. All right. I did it. I did it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go through and pick off all the little threads. And then they are pocketless. Yay. Now, you're gonna go through and you have to, so I did this on the last pair. I just unhooked the bottom part of the buckle because I don't need this waistband. I already have a waistband. So just unhook the bottom part all the way around, take it off. If you want to use the waistband later and you don't want the belt loops, you can always remove them later, but we don't need to worry about that right now. So just try to be quick and remove the bottom part of the waistband. And I'm going to just go on the other side and again, like try cutting off as much of the fabric or thread because it's sewn on really tightly. So if we start breaking up the threads on the back, it's gonna make it come out a lot easier. So, see when I break up the thread on the back side, it's just like all coming undone. And I feel like when I flip it over, I might even just be able to pull it and it will just come off. I'm hoping. Watch me be completely wrong. Oh yeah, see, so everything but one little section just popped off after I broke it up like that. Cut that one. Pop that one bit off, and now it is unattached, and it's only attached now by the actual waistband itself. And when we trim it off, then it will detach. So that is perfect. So we're just gonna go all the way around and do that to every single one. This one doesn't have as much sticking up in the back, so we just have to use the seam ripper to lift up the threads. Okay, and this one's coming off really easily. So go ahead and do that. Okay, this one's disconnected. Perfect. Pull out any extra threads. Now go over to this side. We're gonna go ahead, pull up some of the stitches on this one. Watch out not to flick yourself in the eye. All right. See, pull all the threads out. Okay. And trim off those extra threads. Trimming off the threads is just gonna make it pull out easier from the other side because there's less grabbing on. to the inside fabric. So I think going into the rest of this week, besides finishing these pants, because I have to, I keep saying I'm going to finish them and I have not finished them yet. I definitely think I will have them done by the end of the week. But other than that, I want to focus over the next 6 days on working on doing the artwork around my apartment, because that has been my goal for a couple months now. I set aside this weekend time to finish all the decor elements of my apartment, and I didn't expect to be here at home for so many weeks on end. But I haven't touched the decor yet because, I had previously set aside this time. And so now it has come, and I want to just focus on, framing a bunch of posters and pictures that I have that I want to hang up around my apartment. I want to do a kind of like an art installment. Like I want to make an art installment in my living room area, out of books. And I want to, what else? I have these shelves, so you're actually sitting in a thing of shelves. And I am a bit nervous about doing the shelf piece, because this has been so perfect for my live streams, putting you right in the shelf. And I'm actually going to remove this shelf when it's going to end up on the other side of the bookshelf. Like there's going to be a wall here. So I can't put my laptop inside there anymore, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Maybe I'll flip it and face you from the window to this way, and set you on my desk. But either way, I want to finish the shelves, which are built and stained, but they are not, the backs aren't put on, and those backs have to be wallpapered. I have to do wallpapering. I have to do a bunch of framing. I've shown before in other videos on my channel that I have like a wall of like little 8x11 photos, and they'd all just say like quotes and stuff. I want to paint all of those frames white, and I want all the other frames in my room to also be white. So let's see how this goes, and if I can get it all done in 6 days. I think I might start first I'm going to start working on the shelves possibly tomorrow, but hopefully after that I can do the book art installment thing on the living room wall. If you search, like, I don't know what I searched. It's like, I think I searched book wall art on Pinterest, and then I got the idea. It's kind of like, you take a bunch of books, and I got all my books from either ones I own that I've never actually been interested in reading, and other ones that I got from the dollar store. So I'm going to get a few more from the dollar store, and then you take them and you can distress the pages if you want that look. I don't know if I'm going to distress the pages. But you take them and then you open them, and I think you'll probably have to like glue the pages in some sort of way so that they don't like move. Like so they stay open. And then you hang them on the wall in a certain formation. And then on top, once they're opened in a certain formation and on the wall, then you have them a quote written out. I'm sure you write it on the books before you hang them up, but probably I'll lay it all on the floor. Then I'll write out the quote on top of the books. So you write like different letters per page or different words per pages. And yeah, and then you hang it up on the wall, and then you also can go in and like some people add like flowers around it, or they add like figurines, different things. So I have an idea. It's kind of hard to explain, but our living room is like orange and pastel themed. We have a bright orange couch. So I think I'm gonna do the books natural colored, like that off-white color, like most of the pages are off-white. The writing on it is gonna be black. And then I'm going to add accent pieces of black and bright orange. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm pretty much making up for the fact that we have like a projector on that wall and like nothing around the projector stand. So it's just like this giant black eyesore in the middle of the room. And so I want to kind of detract from that by having this artwork around it, or wall art, whatever you call it. Okay, so we got all of this taken off, and now I'm gonna go in with my scissors. I don't know if these scissors will be good at doing this, but we're gonna attempt it. If not, I'll grab my other scissors. So now we're just going through and we are cutting the waistband away from the denim. We're trying to stay really close to the waistband without actually cutting it, so that we get as much fabric left as possible. And I'm just pulling the belt loops out of the way as I go. Okay. That is one more thing done. All right, so now let's cut these apart finally. So since I know I'm going to be using the back part of the denim, I'm going to cut on the front half seam side, the front half side of the seam, so I can leave as much attached to the back half as humanly possible, since we know that the amount of fabric, like every bit of fabric in this situation counts. Actually, right now it's allowing me to cut right down the seam pretty nicely, which is great. Okay. Cool. All right, so now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay. So now I'm gonna go through, cut this one off. All right. Cute. I don't know why I just like went dead and started staring at the camera. So I'm currently cutting as close to the zipper as possible. So again, I can just get as much fabric as I need. But we shouldn't need the front part of this piece of denim. That actually might be the one thing we don't end up using. We will see. Okay, so we have the two back pieces right here. That's what we're going to need to use. To cut out this front piece. All right. So exciting, also scary, because what if it's not enough? All right. Take this trim off, trim that off. Okay. So same thing I've done a million times already. We are going to pin the hems together. We are going to make sure that the top is all squared away and it is matched up so that we can go ahead and pin on our pattern piece. We are almost done cutting out this pattern. Again, it does take a little extra work to do to upcycle your materials rather than just grabbing some denim and using any old denim to make jeans out of. But one worn denim is going to look so much nicer than buying just, brand new denim from a fabric store. And also, it is totally worth the savings and just the environmental impact to take a moment and use the recycled material. So even though it is a little bit more work, I definitely think it is worth it every single time. So let's see. Also, this is taking me a lot longer because I've kind of just been figuring it out as I go. I underestimated how much fabric I would need. Okay, let's see. Let's check this out. So this is so much better than last time. This piece fits on here almost completely perfectly. And actually, almost perfectly. Only the tiniest bit gets cut off at the top. And it's basically only seam allowance. That's crazy. Let me try to do it from the other side and see if it will still get cut off. Because if there's any way that we can get none cut off on this piece, that would be absolutely fantastic. Really, yeah, it's pretty great. It's gonna cut off a tiny bit, but that is okay. Because in comparison, it's nothing. Okay, so definitely I am very pleased with my choice of going back and cutting the denim. Make sure it is matched up on both sides though, because You don't want to miss it. Yeah, you don't want to miss it on one side. So that is perfect. Perfect. Definitely want to make sure your pattern is laying flat. I was trying to put a little ease in it and see if I could get that little corner that was sticking off onto my piece, but does not look like that's gonna happen, which is fine. Because actually there's this, I might just have it be like the seam allowance is a little bit shorter on this one area, or seam allowance, because the seam is actually still within the line, the area. So that is so fantastic. I'm very happy about that. Okay, so this was so worth it. Again, I'm so excited about this. All right, we're gonna go ahead and cut this out. And let's see, where are my scissors? Perfect. Trim it right here. Flip it around, always flip it around and cut with the paper on your right. And this is if you're right-handed. Be careful holding a little piece of fabric like I am. Would not recommend. My scissors are very much frustrating me. They are, oh my gosh. I started cutting into my pattern piece. Make sure your area is clean. You don't want mistakes like that to happen. All right, so that is great. I'm gonna go back through. I didn't get that close to the paper right here. That's the way I was holding the pattern. So we're just going back through making sure it's straight all the way across. There's no parts where it sticks out, and that is perfect now. And we are gonna go through right here, oh, not right here. Right here, the pattern does go in a little bit. That was an adjustment that I made to make it more fitted. Make sure you do make that indent, otherwise you won't have that fittedness on the butt of the pants. Okay, so we went ahead, we cut that, that's perfectly cut out. So we can go ahead, take all our pins out, leave one pin just in the middle. And I am feeling so excited now. And now we just have a few of our pattern pieces that we need to make that extra little patch for to attach to the waistband so that there's no corner missing. This is not one of them because we were able to fix it, and we're only missing 1/4 of an inch in one corner, and I'm just gonna cut my seam allowance right there. I'm just gonna pay attention to the pattern while I'm doing it. So this one is completely done. I can add that to my stack of completed patterns. We're gonna pull over the piece of pants that we used yesterday to cut out that front piece that didn't end up being big enough. And I'm going to pin down the 2 remaining pattern pieces. These were not those extra little cutouts. These are the actual waistband that we didn't cut out yet. Let me see before I do this, let me see something. So this is the black, this is the black, front one, back one, okay, back 2, back 3. Okay, so this one was completely perfect, and this is front 3. Okay, don't need to make any adjustments on that one. This is our muslin. We need that waistband for later. Okay, so then on the blue, we don't need to make any adjustments. And I believe on this black piece, we also don't need to make any adjustments because I ended up adjusting it on here. So that's good. So that's the front 2. Okay, so these ones are good. I don't need to make adjustments on that. And then this one, the blue ones, we didn't need adjustments. Those ones were perfect. This one, we need to make an adjustment. And how was this one? This one, we might need to make an adjustment. But we also might not have to because it's a pocket. No, it's not. This is the pant. This is the back. We'll need to make an adjustment on this one. Okay, so leave that one here. Cut out that line. I didn't mean that. Okay, because that one I do. And this one we do. Okay, because these 2 are back pieces, and that's why we have to do that. Okay, so then take these. The reason I was checking is to see if I could just alter it on here, and then I don't have to. And actually, these are 2 back pieces. This is back number 1, which is this. So what I was thinking is I'm just going to add this part to here, and then I don't have to cut out another piece at all. And then over here, the only thing is the lines won't match up. Yeah, we're not going to do that because then the lines won't match up and we won't have an even waistband. It will go like, it will be jagged. So we're not going to do that. We're going to add the extra panel pieces, which will just make it look like it has like a secondary band in the back, which is kind of common. Okay. because you want to account for, the shape of your butt. So that's fine. We have to push down on this fabric a little bit because it's the knee area and it's so curved. It's hilarious. Okay, so we're almost done here. Just need a couple more pins. Okay, so as I cut this out, I'm gonna start to make an end to this stream, because I'm going to have to go and find some paper and just copy off these two little pieces onto a new piece of paper so I can add the proper seam allowance, and then use this little bit of fabric that I've left to cut out those pattern pieces. I have plenty. I can remove this pocket and then use that to cut out those two small pieces, which will mean that I have left over for a different project. I'll have the waistband of these jeans, and I will have the two front panels of these jeans for something else, which is awesome because clearly I needed a lot of black denim, so you never know what you might need it for in the future. So I'm going to get rid of, recycle all the little scrappy bits that we aren't going to use for this or for like anything in the future, because it's just going to be a mess to try to save this stuff. It's very unlikely that I'll need it. So I'll recycle this stuff, and then I'm going to keep the pockets. I'm going to keep the belt loops, waistband, and the two front panels, and that will be awesome for a future project, along with all the other extra pockets and belt loops that I already have saved from this project. Because like I said, I cut up 4 pairs of pants and we're only making 1 pair. So we only need 2 pockets and we need 1 waistband. So yeah, I'm going to finish cutting these out. I'm going to grab the paper, make these final 2 patterns, and then I'm going to call it a night, and we will start sewing finally these pants tomorrow, hopefully. And like I said early in the stream, I am planning on starting to stream on Twitch. Hopefully I'll stream on Twitch for an hour most days before I jump onto YouTube. So if you want to catch me on a Twitch stream, go ahead, follow me under the same account name on Twitch. And yeah, other than that, go ahead and check out Mora Mitchell. Her link is always in the description of my live streams and my YouTube videos. We are both trying to post for 60 days straight. And her content is very different from mine. She does not sew on her videos, but she makes short films. She makes kind of like self-improvement, self-growth style videos. She also makes a lot of different funny videos. Like she made a video about being a sim. I think her last video that she posted today was about changing her voice into a man's voice. So go ahead and watch that. She also did like a room makeover via her computer. So she does all different types of interesting things on there. All of her videos are relatively short. So go ahead, check her out. She's great. You can find that in the description. And if you do want to be notified when I am live, because I go live at different times every single day, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and actually hit that bell notification. I know a lot of times we refrain from hitting the bell notification, but that is the only way that you will know it when I am live streaming. So if that's something you're interested in, please go ahead and hit that. Otherwise, you're never going to know. You're going to miss the stream. So I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. It is always nice to have people joining my streams while I sew. I appreciate it, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.